Hey everyone, my opponent for this game is going to be Android the Terran. He is in this division right here, Medevac Alamo, 250 and 174. So let's get started. And here we are on Scrap Station. Psy in the top as the blue Zerg against, as I mentioned before, Android in the right position as the red Terran. This is going to be on Scrap Station. And I'm going to say right off the bat that this is going to be a real ZVT mech game. A lot of my previous mech games were kind of semi-mech, maybe a couple Thors, maybe a couple tanks, but not hardcore tank mech Hellion or tank Thor Hellion mech. But this is going to have that in this game, and you're going to see how I respond to it and if I'm able to take the game. Last game I did lose against Anti-Mage. That was kind of unfortunate, but GL have fun from Psy. This is going to be the first of two games I cast tonight. I'm actually going to do a really short one against Az that's going to demonstrate just how important build orders are. So, I've had some requests from a couple of Redditors. If you guys are Redditors, I am present in the Reddit scene on Starcraft Reddit. So, shout out to all of my friends and fans on the Starcraft Reddit section. They were skeptical as to if PsyStarcraft was the real PsyStarcraft. Well, it is, so now you know that is verified. And I have a lot of people to thank for donations, but I'm actually going to set that aside for a separate video on Sunday, just because I don't want to thank the people and then get right back to my game as if I don't really care about them or anything like that. So enough announcements, here we go. We are seeing a 14 hatch on Scrap Station and long travel distance on this map, so I'm pretty comfortable doing that, straying away from my typical 14 pool, 14 gas for once. So you're going to see that 14 hatchery, and I'm building up to 16 food. And the reason I'm doing this and I'm not getting a pool at 14 or 15 or something like that is because I can see exactly what he's doing with his Overlord. Nice spot to position your Overlord on Scrap Station is right here. Even if a Marine pops out and tries to attack your Overlord, you can get away just fine, so you don't have to worry about that. And I didn't see any kind of add-on, no tech lab, so no Reapers are going to be coming out anytime soon. And he's just kind of spamming that rally point there right now. Now getting my spawning pool and gas at the same time, around 16 or 17 it looks like, probably about 17. Orbital command going up for Android. I haven't encountered him before. I don't know if he's a predominant player in the scene, but who knows. Looks like he is getting another supply depot. He's getting these supply depots very fast because he's worried about some kind of block off. Run by. I don't know if he actually scouted me or not. No, he didn't send any SCVs, so he's kind of unnecessarily spending extra minerals just to get the block off when he didn't actually need to. So you'll see his supply is out of the so freaking high right now. 18 to 35. I don't even know what I was going to say. That's how high it is. Now doing a drone transfer after my hatchery completed. Getting a queen at my expansion and my main at the same time. Plenty of minerals. Getting gas as well, so not too much going so far. 26 out of 28. Going to need to pop out another Overlord here. I did anticipate supply locking myself, so another Overlord is on the way. Nice timing right there. Here we go. Start of the mech build. 2 factories going down, running off 2 gas, just continuing to pump out those SCVs. I'd like to see a little more heads up on the SCVs. There we go. Now we've got a couple queued up. Just because, as a Terran, you can afford to just keep on pumping SCVs. First factory is finished. Tech lab going up. Still only seeing 1 gas. There's a second gas going down as well as a layer. And the second gas is a little bit sooner than usual because I am going to be getting some mutas this game. And it's very tough to fund mutas off of 1 gas, that's for sure. Still just really pumping a lot of drones. Long map. Not seeing anything that's kind of threatening here. Sticking my Zerglings out here, leaving 1 on the tower. If we look at the harvester count, doing pretty well, 27 to 21. Drones can, Zerg can keep up even in the early game as long as you just pump mass drones, only getting 4 Zerglings, and as long as he's not going to do some crazy kind of harass. Actually, we're seeing some Hellions, so maybe he is going for some harass, preparing a command center as well. So 2 Hellions. Pre-igniter upgrade going down. Looks like he might move out with 4 Hellions once these 2 complete. I don't see him producing another one. He doesn't have the minerals to do that anyway. Only a spawning pool so far. Now we're seeing a Spire going down. But if you think, when these Hellions move out, I'm going to be extremely vulnerable. Yes, I will spot it with these Overlords, with these Lings. There we go. And with this Watchtower. but I don't have anything. I'm just now putting down a couple spine crawlers, one in my expansion. I believe I put one in my main as well, but still these Hellions are on the move. Spines take 50 seconds to complete, and I don't think they're going to be up in time. So you're going to see a tricky little tactic that I'm going to use here. I'm basically going to admit that these Hellions are going to make it in my base. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm going to try to cut my losses as much as I can. Look what I'm doing. These drones do not want to stay in that mineral line while these Hellions are coming, so I'm moving them all up here to this ledge. 4 more pop out, unfortunately, and I don't want to send them back up here because he might, it might be a hint telling him that's where all my drones are. So he's only able to kill about, well, 5 or 6. That's still not as many as you want to die. So 5 or 6 drones going down, now moving up to my main, and unfortunately I didn't hide the drones at my main, but his Hellions are pretty weak, so maybe I won't lose too many. Notice how I'm splitting them off. Splitting a couple this way, a couple that way. Very nice split right there. Only killing 1, 2, 3, 4. So killing about 4 drones in my main and a 5 or 6 in my expansion, mainly because they popped out at just the wrong time. So not too bad considering how unprepared I was for it. Zergling's finally cleaning that up. But one thing I could have done a little bit better is perhaps get a Roach Warren. That's optional. I don't really think I had to do that. But just put down some spines a little bit sooner, maybe float in my Overlord. I did send in a sacrificial Overlord. I can see his build right now. I did that while the Hellions were coming. But if we look at the harvester count, 32 to 28, not too bad. Drones that were hiding down here like cowards went back up and are starting to mine again, running off 3 gas for my Spire build. And if we look at the production tab, he's getting Thors. Thors against my Mutas, so not too fun to see a couple Thors pop out when you're busting out the Muta tech. Looking pretty good on saturation. Could use a couple more drones at my main. And my expansion looks like it might have taken a hit after those toasty toast drones got toasted. Like toast. Or like bread, I should say. Toast doesn't get toasted. I guess when the bread is almost complete and it's toast and it's still toasting, but it's like burning your toast, it's toasting toast. So, tangent. Couple of Mutas flying in. He is prepared with his turrets. So I'm pretty sure he saw my Spire up here. Yeah, he saw that Spire completing. So able to poke around a little bit, get some intel, getting my Overlord speed as well. And I did see this command center flying in. So once he starts to saturate that, I'm going to send these couple Mutas in and see if I can do a little bit of damage to his SCV line. And hey, guess what, you guys? I'm spreading creep. Hell yeah! Getting my Roach speed as well. Harvester count 46, so despite that hit I took, not too bad. And look what I've done. Once I saw those Thors, once I saw his factories, or maybe his Thors, I don't remember, I put down a Roach Warren, and I put down a Hydra Den. I'm getting Hydra range and Roach speed. If he goes something like Thor Hellion, Hydras and Roaches are very strong against it. Mutas wouldn't do too well, as long as he has about 3 or more Thors. 2 Thors, actually, Mutas do pretty decent against. A couple Mutas able to pick off some SCVs. Looks like they might have killed 4 altogether. This guy didn't get any, he was just the assister. But Hydras and Roaches, very nice. If he adds tanks in the mix, then that's a different story. Depends on how many tanks he has, but right now we're just seeing Thors and Hellions. It's a tricky balancing act. 2 evolution chambers going down. And let's scroll over our drones, see the saturation. I've got 18 drones on minerals. I'd like to have at least 20 on minerals, and when I transfer to gas, I'm going to need a couple more as well. A couple more Hellions are going to be blockaded by these Hydras and Roaches, and they're fast because I'm actually spreading creep for once. I should actually get another creep tumor down around this direction and spread across these rocks. And notice I am keeping an Overlord on top of these rocks, even clicking it right here, just to make sure he's not going to try anything sneaky. And another little trick here is I'm not placing a lot of my tech in my main. And why am I not doing that? Because the distance between the bases here is so short that if he does try some kind of crazy Marauder drop or Thor drop, he won't be able to snipe a lot of my tech. Sure, it's probably going to do a lot of damage. I should have some Overlords in between scouting for any kind of drops that he might try, or any air Banshees, something like that. But I don't. I got lucky, I'll admit it. And it's nice that the tech is just kind of tucked away in this nice little corner of the map. Very hard for him to destroy. If he does destroy it, I'm going to lose the game anyway, even if my tech isn't there. So, kind of a neat little trick. Killing my creep tumor as I'm expanding. If we look at the production tab, Just getting more Hydras. Looks like he is now producing tanks and siege. And here we go, an engagement right here. And he doesn't stand a chance. These Roaches are eating up a lot of damage. They take 3 shots from the Thors to get destroyed. And these Hydras are in the back DPSing. But look at him. He's actually doing a great job of focusing down those Hydras. I should have pulled them back. So a little bit of pretty nice focus fire by Android. And now, pause the game. Day 9 moment right here. Typical Psy fashion. Winning an attack and backing off. What does he have? He has 2 tanks and 1 Marine. I could have won the game outright right here. But if I did that, it wouldn't be quite as cool. So, yeah, let's continue the game. Just every time you win a battle, go and see what he has. At least just follow up. And if you see something, okay, you can back off. Especially with Zerg. Zerg is fast. But I didn't do that. I just ran away. I was like, okay, I won that battle. I'm feeling good. I'm going to macro up. But when Terran goes mech, especially if they have 4 siege tanks queued on 1 factory, okay, there we go. We've got another factory coming out, thank God. Then you could be in a world of hurt. Small mech armies can just desolate decent-sized Zerg armies. And if we look at the production tab, I'm continuing to get Roaches, which you just saw come out, Hydralisks, and a couple upgrades as well. I was a little bit slow on the upgrades. I didn't start these upgrades even immediately after the evolution chamber came out, so that was kind of a mistake. Hive Tech is a little bit slow as well. I'm just now putting down my infestation pit, and against mech it's very, very hard to beat it once they get kind of a critical amount, like 8 tanks or so, if you don't have Hive Tech. So no Hive Tech right now. Let's see if I am watching my Hive here. Come on, Hive! Hive! Yeah, there we go. Notice I am pooping. Oh, you can't poop. That must be uncomfortable. Pooping. So watching every expansion, I am up 3 bases to 2. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. But he is massing a nice tank force. I would like to see a couple Thors mixed in because he does not have any anti-air at this point. And I'm actually going to spot that. I'm going to notice that he doesn't have any anti-air. He's sieging up. I'm breaking the rocks. I'm trying to do a little trick. He's probably going to go in and I expect to break this, move up here, and break this. But I was going to lay some creep and then try to meet his tanks before their siege. Unfortunately, he might have spotted that. I'm not too sure. Need to saturate this base, of course. If we look at the income, 54 to 54. So I'm off 3 bases, but the same number of harvesters. Moving it in a little bit, but seeing his tanks are kind of at a nice little choke. If I were to engage right here, that would be terrible. My units would just bottle up. He would just siege up right here. Hellions take a lot of damage for him. Here we go, 62 to 50.